Hello, everybody. So today we are going to be improving some sentences. You'll end up with a total of 8 brand new sentences in the end, and you'll be able to use these in bits of writing next week when we come back into school. But if you don't get them all done today, that's not a problem because we will be able to have discussions and brainstorm lots of ideas when we are together. So it's up to you now how you choose to do this. You can either watch the video the whole way through and then go back, or you can pause and play and sort of like stop and start as you go. Again, it depends what works for you. But what's going to happen is I'm going to give you a sentence. And I've got an example on this slide to show you, and then each time I will be giving you something extra to do to that sentence to slowly improve the sentence and obviously make it a bit bigger. So again, it's up to you how you choose to do this. So we are starting off with our simple sentence here, which says Grendel opened the door. So that's our simple sentence. So the first thing we're going to do to the sentence to make it better, now you've already probably got ideas of things that you can do instead. Stick to this little guideline for now, but the fact that you are hopefully already thinking, well, I would do this and that, and I'd add this and those sorts of things, that's great. And they're the sorts of things that you should be doing when you write anyway. You should always be looking to improve your sentences. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to improve, or you're going to add to the verb choice to describe how he opened the door. So this may involve an adverb. You might just change the verb. It's sort of up to you really what you choose to do. And what I've done is I've written an example for each one as well. Not gone too simple, haven't gone too amazing either. I've just tried to do a bit of a middle of the road sort of example. And ideally, you guys will be finding far better examples, which I know you will anyway, because you're great writers. So Grendel ripped open the door. And that word ripped, actually, you're already thinking about. So he hasn't just like opened it nicely or gracefully or slowly. He's like clearly ripped it off its handles. He's strong, he's powerful, he's angry, he means business right now. So he's ripped open the door. Second thing we're going to do, so we're going to now use this as our base sentence, and then we're going to add to this one here. We're going to describe the door. So you probably saw that coming. So yeah, I mean, door is fine, and sometimes we can just keep our sentences simple. We don't want to overload the adjectives. This is what I've done for my one. So Grendel ripped open the iron-studded door. So I've tried to think as well based on pictures in the book. Now, you may not have seen all the pictures, but obviously you might want to have a little Google as well. Sort of like in those sort of back in the old days, even now in some like older buildings, they have like their little metal like iron studs over the door. So I just thought use a bit of inspiration from there. So iron studded door, managed to pop a little hyphen in there as well. So this is now our new base sentence. So Grendel ripped open the iron-studded door. Third thing we're going to do to the sentence, and it's already looking a lot better than the first sentence. So we're going to add a fronted adverbial. So on the Home Learning Hub, I have popped in the little note section a little reminder about what that is, if you can't remember. So you're saying how something happened, when something happened, or where something happened. And obviously fronted adverbial bit at the beginning of the sentence, and use a comma to separate it up. Obviously you can have just a normal adverbial and that would go at the end. Obviously that's, don't call an ended adverbial, but that, and just an adverbial could be at the end. We're going to pop ours at the beginning today. So I'm going to use any front adverbial to add to my sentence. So I have done this one. So I've done growling loudly. Grendel ripped open the iron-studded doors. Now, I've written doors now. Don't worry about that. I've just made it plural, but that's fine. So growling loudly. So I even popped a little adverb in there. I had to think then, a little adverb. So we're now getting more of a feeling about what's going on. So yes, you already know quite a lot from that word ripped, but growling loudly, we're now getting your pictures in your mind, or if you're thinking about what it might be sounding like, that sort of that growling, the frustration, the anger, and loudly as well. It's not just a quiet murmur. He means business, doesn't he? And then the last one, you're going to use a dash or brackets to add a little bit of extra information on the end. Now, I know we haven't done masses on dashes and brackets. Some of you are just sort of slotting them in your work anyway, which is good. Sometimes correctly, sometimes almost there. So don't overthink it too much. Don't worry because we haven't done it fully. But I'll give you my example, and you might be able to sort of use that as a bit of a guide for your own one. So I've kept everything else, my base sentence here, my new base sentence. So growling loudly, Grendel ripped open the iron-studded door. I've gone back to door now. Doors and doors. Oh dear, I think I should get rid of that one. This is my auto I can edit, everybody. Always edit and check your work. And I put a little dash. This was no trouble for him. So this is just a little bit of extra information. Didn't have to include this, but I'm just adding a little bit of extra information just to really prove my point. It was no trouble for him. And it was nice and easy. And again, we get a lot of that from the word like ripped as well. So you're going to have a go now at starting off with Grendel opened the door, and have a go at doing 4 improvements and see what you come up with. Now you may have done this as you went along with the video, you may not have. Once you've done Grendel opened the door, you've then got a second sentence with some slightly different suggestions. You might want to come up with your own ones, possibly. So for this one, I've given you 4, but you might decide that you want to write your own 4, which would be absolutely brilliant. We'd love to hear things like that. But make sure you know what it is you're doing for each improvement. Don't just write 4 improved sentences. What is it you've done to each one to improve it? So for this one, so again, this is my suggestion. You may choose to do your own improvements. First thing I'd like you to do is to change the verb looked to something more powerful, because look, to look, looked, so it's fine, but it's only fine. So we can come up with something a lot better than the word looked, stared, or thinking on the spot now, looked, stared, glared, things like that. Once you've done this sentence, when you've improved that sentence, I then would like you to describe the man a bit further. After you've done that, we're going to do a front adverbial, just like last time. And then the fourth thing, you have to think about where your punctuation goes when you do these 2 bits here, though, is to include a relative clause. And we love a relative clause. You know that's one of my favourite sentences, just because you get so many ticks in your box for doing relative clauses. Remember, relative clauses give you extra information about the noun. So the noun in this sentence is going to be Grendel. So Grendel, who was da 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 da, and then carry our sentence on. So that's your challenge for today. Again, if you wish to, particularly for this second sentence, if you wish to do your own criteria for improvement, that is fine. I'd highly recommend some of you doing that. Some of you would be able to do some really, really great improvements. And just like yesterday with your persuasive speeches, we would love to hear these sentences today.